through the work week, 4 minutes past 10 o'clock. We're already up to 50 degrees at Payson Airport right now. This morning on KRIM's Community Spotlight, we're talking about the MHA Foundation. And with us in the studio, we have, KRIM's intern Ashlyn with us this morning. But as our guest, we also have Jennifer Smith. And, when we talk about the MHA Foundation, the two people that we talk to most often, as a matter of fact, are here getting ready to tell us everything that we ever wanted to know about what's been going on for the last month.
You said this program lasted 30 hours?
30 hours, yeah. Now, first of all, I mean, I know you have a lot of material to cover, and so I don't want to get in the way of the information dissemination that we want to have happen here. So where do you want to start, Jennifer?
Kenny?
Well, first of all, Randy, I think the community as a whole suffered a real wake-up call this last summer when we had the fire up in Pine.
Oh, howdy.
And I think it brought a lot of us to our knees to pray for the Lord's help. And one of the things that has impressed me over the last few months, and especially as we enter this holiday season, is the absolute need for us to begin to encourage our folks to go back to church.
I think it's great.
I don't care what church you go to. It's not just that you need the church needs you.
And even with the pandemic and everything too, it's exacerbated all kinds of problems in our community, and certainly a little bit of a return to our faith and to prayer goes a long ways.
It would go a long ways toward, I believe, bringing down the blessings of heaven. So my word this morning, although McGowan Health Alliance MHA is focused on health and education, spiritual health and physical health are just intertwined. And so if I can make any plea to the community, it would be, would you please consider going back and sharing your presence with the other people in your congregations?
Amen and amen.
You know, I actually went to a continuing medical education conference for my actual professional side. And in part of that, there is actually a federal mandate. This is very unknown, but there's a federal mandate that anybody who is in an inpatient setting, they actually need to perform, they perform a physical history, and you talk about your medical history and your social history and all of this, but it's actually part of completing a full history of the patient includes a spiritual history. And so it makes total sense that if MHA Foundation is about wellness, that the spiritual wellness of our community is also something that we would be willing to talk about.
I love it. And the physicians over at the Payson Christian Clinic really good at doing spiritual assessments and getting their finger on the pulse of those needs that sometimes quietly go unmet by people going through some pretty scary things. So
wonderful public servants over there.
As well as the chaplains at Banner Payson.
Yes,
excellent. Yeah,
absolutely.
Outstanding. Well, so now the interesting thing is, I think a lot of folks have, we've seen a big progress from the MHA Foundation as far as the park that's under construction over off of Mud Springs, but that's only one of the things that MHA Foundation has been working on, and we actually have a pretty significant list to try and make our way through here in 30 minutes.
We've done a couple of things this year.
Now there's an understatement.
So I did actually bring a list, and this is going to be in the roundup, I think probably next week, maybe Tuesday. Anne, if you're listening.
Wait a minute before you start. Ashlyn, you're part of that
Yes.
list of things that we do.
Yes,
Oh, really?
absolutely. So our work here with KRIM actually includes this internship program that you are a part of. And so that falls under, it's kind of a dual program between the schools and KRIM here. So it's really neat to see that coming around and seeing you here and having the opportunity to be part of the show.
Well, I do love it here.
That's awesome.
And it's been fun to have Ashlyn in here too, because it's easy if you've been doing this for a few decades to, you get your blinders on, you forget how to tell someone how to do this job, and by having to do that, it reminds you that, oh, that's right, I'm supposed to be doing it this way, not that way. But it's been good all the way around for all of us.
So Randy, I thought what I would do is try to have enough oxygen in my body to read this list, and then we can go back and cherry pick the things that we want to talk a little bit more about.
Sounds good. You sure?
All right. So we have an AED program where we provide AEDs to different locations.
Automated electronic defibrillator.
Yes, exactly. And we have provided those this year to the Payson Police Department, the Blattner, Brush Pit, Tonto Basin, and the Canyon Creek Fish Hatchery.
Wow.
I think we're up over 50 now, aren't we? That have
53.
been provided? Yeah.
Now, that's a tool that's really gonna help people, save lives.
Yeah,
Bottom
absolutely.
line.
And not only that, but it's, in a lot of situations, there will be agencies that, will provide 3 of them, but they really wanted 5. And so in addition to the 3 that we provide, we also give them our pricing that we get for the other, say, 2 or whatever that they want to purchase. So their overall buy-in is actually far less than what it typically would be. So that's great too. And then there's the Arizona Sunshine Foundation. We helped them provide dentures for the community. You can find them more about them at arizonasunshine.com.
Cool.
The Arizona Wild Rescue, we made a program contribution. The Blattner Brush Pit, Brownsville Western Heritage Program.
Yay.
And in the backyard.
Yeah.
My backyard there.
They're amazing.
They really are.
Yeah.
They do an awful lot for the people down there. in
They really
Basin.
do. It's a lot of education,
Yeah.
heritage education, agriculture education, just a phenomenal little quiet program down there, doing great things.
And they're fun people.
They are fun people.
Yeah.
And their gymkhanas are a blast.
Oh man, let me tell you. and talk about everybody coming together to have some fun down there. It's their little gymkhanas are pretty darn fun thing to
Yeah,
take in.
they are. And they take care of their own too.
Yep.
Absolutely. So the Payson Community Garden, we were able to help them procure a tractor this year.
Wow.
Hold on, Kenny, we can talk about it. You're sitting there bouncing. I can
Yes,
feel it.
guess where I was yesterday.
Going kind of old home week as far as
That's
tractors,
right,
right?
that's right.
Cool.
We participated heavily in the local COVID-19 testing and vaccination events.
Yes, you did.
A lot of not only monetary contribution to that, but volunteer time. Just
And organizational structure.
Yes.
And when you talk about donating heavily, I mean, that's even an understatement. I mean, you were very much involved in some pretty big outreaches there that were quite
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah, we actually vaccinated over 1,400 people.
Wow.
And we were the first mass testing site in the state.
Wow.
So it was an epic
That's 3 epics.
event. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Community CPR classes. This has been a very long-standing program for MHA Foundation. We pay the fees to make it possible for the community to be able to come in and have free classes for CPR. Then there's the Eastern Arizona College Nursing Program, which again is a long-standing program for us.
And number 1 in the country again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Out of over 5,700 programs around the country.
And people can get their nursing degrees right here in Payson.
Yeah, I think the last time I heard, I think Banner said they've employed 30 students, former EAC students, nursing students in here.
I know a few of them.
Yeah, so it's pretty impressive,
Wow.
not only, what the program's been able to do and achieve on its own, but the matriculation into our local community and providing services here locally. Because, if you think about it, to provide 30 nurses to a hospital, that's a lot of recruiting.
Sure.
So that's a pretty big deal.
But also, it's important to, I think, note that when you look at possible educational opportunities right here in Payson that can return significant dividends. I mean, even a starting nurse, it's a pretty decent wage that they get paid, and to be able to get your education right here in Payson and land that job, that's pretty darn special.
Absolutely. So the next one is very near and dear to my heart. It's the Granite Dells Park Complex.
Aha.
It is currently under construction. The Lake and Stream Complex is about 73% done.
Ooh.
And our next components are going to be the artificial turf fields. So really, really exciting things happening over there.
And there's a soccer field.
There's a football, soccer field, and a softball field.
Cool.
Mhm.
All right.
So those will be really cool. We actually purchased that turf it was in the middle of the year, about June. And so it's actually the turf for our fields, for Payson's fields. They're sitting in a warehouse, completely manufactured and striped and rolled up and just waiting for us to get the crews in
Wow.
February and start getting it laid.
Hmm.
So really
Cool.
exciting. All right, moving right along.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, we're only about a third of the way through. So.
That's okay. We got another 15 minutes.
15? That's it?
Well,
You said
next-
50,
No,
right?
no. Actually, we have 17 minutes.
Oh, okay, all right. But who's counting?
Yeah, sure.
Habitat for Humanity received a program contribution. Home Runs for Vets softball tournament. New Beginnings Pregnancy and Parenting Center. Payson Book Festival. Payson Community Kids. Rim Country Rotary Club. So To further the contribution to the local medical community, we also have a health scholarship program that the foundation has run for, oh gosh, I would guess decades, yeah. So we actually provide scholarships for students to be able to go to school to when they are committed to coming to Rim Country. So they don't have to be going to EAC. They can be going to NAU, U of A, MCC, any place they want to be learning and studying, as long as they're committed
Easy for you to say.
to practicing whatever their health-related craft is here in Rim Country.
Wow,
Mhm.
great.
So let's see, then we have the University of Arizona Rural Health Clinic, which is actually an extension of the U of A College of Medicine Phoenix campus
Right.
here in Payson. That one you guys have done quite a few shows on.
And that's a really when you talk to the students and stuff, it's neat to the education and perspective that they're gaining with a hands-on sort of approach, and especially a lot of those are people that come out of metro areas, and this is maybe their first time in a rural setting, and the different nuances that come in as a result of that is really fascinating.
Absolutely, absolutely. They're really getting a very well-rounded education out here. Very patient-centric. Then there was the Seroptimus Club. We sponsored their human trafficking presentation. The Tonto Rim Search and Rescue Program received.
Near and dear to me.
Yeah, me too. University of Arizona College of Medicine, we provide scholarships for their students. Then there's EHAC, which is, what does that stand for?
Eastern Arizona Health
Education,
and Education.
something.
No.
Basically, they do all kinds
Consortium.
of things. Okay, consortium. They do all kinds of things to help with health-related education in
Right.
our country. So,
Gotta love it.
yeah, so we help them by subsidizing their student housing. Then there's the Banner Payson Medical Center. This one's really exciting. We committed significant funds to helping them procure a brand new 3D mammogram machine. Yes, so that's brand spanking new to Rim Country, and that will save lives.
Yeah.
For sure.
And great anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, one of the challenges with the current 2D mammography is that quite often there are false negatives. And
Right, and of course
And
that
false
gets
positives.
you all worked up, and
the false positive is
Yeah.
the one that caused great anxiety, and so
Right.
we'll be able to narrow that by more than 40%.
wow.
Being able to get that done up here, as opposed to having to go to the valley, is really.
And more it seems like they're able to get more things accomplished here rather than outsourcing,
Mhm.
and that is a major step in the right direction.
And that's honestly a major, one of our commitments to Rim Country when we were recruiting, and I use the word "we" fairly liberally because I wasn't on the board then, but when the board was looking for a partner with the hospital, that was one of the major considerations for the board, was that the hospital was going to continue to increase services here in Rim Country, not just make it a pack them up and ship them out type of facility.
Right,
So, yeah.
gotta love it.
Absolutely. So speaking of the folks that do a lot of packing folks up, the paramedic training program. We have a significant commitment with the local fire districts, including the Town of Payson Fire Department, where we have committed to paying for the medic training for any of their employees that want to advance from basic EMT up to medic, which is a significant, it's a significant investment of their time, and it would be cost prohibitive for a lot of folks. So we have subsidized that for them.
Wow, that's excellent.
Yeah, and that's a multi-year program as well. So now
Now that we're through the health part of what we do,
there's the education part. So
Okay.
Payson Unified School District has just been such an amazing partner to work with. They have just made it so easy to get to allow us to be a part of the kids' lives. So one of our huge endeavors, this is an 8-year program, and it's multi-million-dollar program, is the Aed Program, Advancement via Individual Determination.
Right.
And we've done some shows on that too.
Mhm.
What's really neat is we're starting to get some preliminary feedback, because year 1 of that program was just training. Year 2 was the first implementation, and so now we're moving into year 3. And they're actually starting to see results from first year implementation. And the first year implementation was during COVID year, which couldn't be more challenging.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
Yeah,
I
so-
can think of a couple other ways, but yeah.
Yeah, RCMS actually had an Avid Parents Night, and we could go in and talk to the Avid students, and I got choked up, and I'm a sap, but I totally cried because these kids are visiting colleges in middle school. They are setting career goals. They are improving academically. They're improving with their critical thinking and their organization.
In middle school.
In middle school.
In middle school, I was concerned with like, what are we having for lunch?
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, and did I get all the egg that I dropped out of my hair?
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. You knew me back then. Yeah. Anyway, but no, I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
And just getting kids thinking about that at an early age, it makes all the difference. Instead of halfway through your senior year, it's like, oh man, better start thinking about it now. That's no good. Oops.
So then moving along, at Payson High School, we were very privileged to work alongside RVN3, MSA, and the rest of the community to help replace the original gym floor.
Right?
It turned out so beautiful.
I did.
Yeah. And then there was the wrestling team. We also worked alongside RVN3 and MSA Foundation again to replace the mats and the wall padding, which had never been replaced. They're getting a new scoreboard this year as well as new uniforms.
Nice.
And so the wrestling team should feel very supported and loved.
As the grandfather of a middle school wrestler, I salute you.
Awesome, outstanding. Then there's the Payson Center for Success. We ran the contextual learning, or we didn't run it, they ran it. We helped contribute to them running it. The contextual learning pilot, where again, it was students focusing on their ultimate career choices and learning the life skills to be able to make those possible. Like how to carry yourself when you walk into a room, how to shake somebody's hand, how to look people in the eye, how to balance a checkbook, those types of things.
Right.
How to show up at a job on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a concept, right?
How to show up at a job.
At all.
Yeah. More than once? Yeah. Golly.
First you set an alarm in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, then there's Payson Elementary School. We helped fund their fall festival program. Payson High School Band had never had new uniforms.
Wow.
And so we were really privileged to be able to help them with that. Payson High School Cheer, we made a program contribution. This is very exciting. So Payson High School is going to have a brand new beach volleyball team.
Yep.
And they did an amazing job of fundraising, and we were able to take their funds and match them and help get them to where they can start this year. And what's really exciting about this, I feel like this just totally solidifies the whole if you build it they will come type of thing, because we're building 4 sand volleyball courts, brand new, perfect regulation self-watering volleyball courts at the new park. And so our high school team is going to have absolutely state-of-the-art facilities. And they came to us after we were already underway and said, hey, we're going to start a sand volleyball team. So.
And as, I don't mean to seem too repetitious, but as the grandfather of a varsity volleyball player, I salute you for that one too. I know she hit us up for a few bucks and we did that, but I was hoping that they'd find more support, and lo and behold, with MHA they did.
Took it right over the top, so they are good to go. Then there's the Rim Country Middle School, and it is our absolute honor and privilege to fund their outstanding student banquet.
Week from today.
Wow.
The PUSD Summer School Program, we provided a 90% grant for that program. So the entire school district was able to have summer school this past summer to help compensate for some of the deficiencies because of COVID in their ability to have one-on-one time with teachers. So this was an in-person program. We funded transportation. Thankfully, the school lunch program was still going, and so the kids had a full experience. And the out-of-pocket for the district was very, very minimal for that. So, and then finally, the Aspire Arizona Foundation golf tournament sponsorship and program contribution. So that's the dual enrollment program.
Right.
So between MHA Foundation and RVN3, our students in Payson never have to wonder if there's going to be funds for sports fees, thanks to RVN3, and dual enrollment program is also 100% paid for. So no student has to wonder if they're able to do these things.
You know, this is all really, I think the right word is astounding, in that the difference in the community that the MHA Foundation is making. I mean, that's one heck of a list. With health-related concerns, educational-related concerns, basically overall social concerns, and it's not just talking about it, but it's doing it.
$3.2 million worth this year.
Man, that's outrageous. You must have a hard time going to sleep at night because you're excited.
No, I fall right to sleep before I even hit the pillow because I'm exhausted.
You're darn tired. No,
Unless I make a phone call and then she's not available.
There you go. No, but really, and Kenny, I mean, you know, I think just to be really frank, when it comes to the old Mogollon Health Alliance and this changeover to the MHA Foundation, there was a lot of people that were wondering what all was going on, but what you've been doing is amazing. And it's easily quantifiable, and it is making a difference. So hats off to you. I mean, I think it's a wonderful bunch of stuff you've been working on.
Well, thank you, I appreciate that, and maybe in another program we can talk about that evolution and how the board came up with the thought pattern as to how we could go forward and become even more helpful to the people of Rim Country.
Wow. Well, whatever they're having for lunch, I want a double share.
You know, I think what this
that's
really
good
is,
stuff.
this is a testament though to our whole community, because we certainly were privileged to make contributions to all of these programs.
Right.
But if you think about the number of people who dedicate their time, energies, talents, and also personal funds to make each of these things possible, it's pretty overwhelming. This is thousands of people making all of these programs
And
happen.
tens of thousands of hours.
Yes, absolutely.
But also, I mean, you seem to be really keeping your finger on the pulse of offering a hand up rather than just a hand out.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a critical ingredient for success, and you're doing it. I'm anxious to see what do we have a projected completion date on when the park over on Mud Springs will be
you
open?
brought up the park. Did you want to talk about the park again? Because that's where I start bouncing.
I just
in
love
my
to watch
chair.
your ears perk up like that. No, but I mean, do we have a projected completion date on
It
it?
should be done by the end of 2022,
A
assuming,
year from now.
yes, a year from now, we should be wrapping it up and opening it up. So,
Wow.
you know, obviously, this is a very interesting time to be engaged in construction. There's
Interesting is a good word to use there.
a lot of opportunities for creative problem solving. And
You have a
maneuvering.
future in politics.
No, stop that.
No, it's,
I just
the
build
terminologies
sports
that I would have
development.
used there just I've been falling all over myself.
Kenny wants to talk about the tractor.
You do have a bit of a farming background from down in Yuma.
Just a little.
Yeah?
Just a little.
Now, you were doing some pretty serious farming down there at one time.
All over the West. We were
Really?
one of the largest farming operations in the country.
Wow. And so hopping on a tractor's got to be kind of like old home week for you.
I think we moved 54 loads of manure with it the other day, and some of it was just moved from one pile back and back.
Wait, was that in the board meeting or on the tractor?
You're gonna have to make it harder for me to keep from giving the one-liners here.
Yeah.
I'll just.
No, but I do kind of understand. I got an old 1954 Ford Golden Jubilee. And I've got my Gannon on the back, and I've got the loader on the front, and there's something about driving around the property down in Tonto Basin that I just I sing the theme song from Green Acres all the time. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But and now this tractor that you all bought was for whom again?
For the Payson Community Garden.
All right. And that has been quite a success over the years.
An enormous success. We have 168 gardeners here, and they're growing all kinds of things, and among other things, we're providing tens of thousands of pounds of produce for our folks in the community who are less fortunate,
I love it.
free of charge. So those donations really make a difference in their lives.
Well, and I mean, everything that in your list that we went through here today, I mean, that's making a difference in the community, period. I mean, all the way around. So hats off. I'm really very, very impressed. How many people are on the board with MHA Foundation these days?
We have 6 board members. We've got 2 open slots that we're in the process of filling now.
Boy, just really, really good work. And I hope you continue on. I'd ask you what the future plans are, but I'm sure that's another show. Because it's taken pretty much all of this show just to get through the list of
Just
what you've
the
done
list.
this year.
Yeah.
and that's just this year. That's astounding. Again, making a big impact in our community, and boy, we all have to be appreciative of that. It's good quality work.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you.
So, but not idle words either. I mean, that's quantifiable stuff. So keep up the good work. What when it comes to people that want to become involved in some of this, is there opportunities for that?
We have a number of opportunities. First of all, much of what we do is, and you characterized it correctly, we provide the seed money to try to bring about good things in the community. So whether it's providing staffing or finances to help other people, our goal is not to, as you say, to just have a handout, but truly to offer a hand up
Right.
to help organizations, people, and individuals to have the ability to do good in this community. I think one of the things we missed talking about was we provide funding, additional funding for the homeless shelter. So from the very lowest to the very highest, virtually everyone in this community benefits from the things that we attempt to get involved in the community to try to make the community better.
And finally, we have to go here, but before we do that, if people want to find out more about the MHA Foundation, where do they go?
MHAfoundation.com is a great place for a repository of information, but our most dynamic influence as far as media is concerned is on our Facebook page, and you can just search MHA Foundation on Facebook.
Outstanding. Well, Jennifer Smith and again Kenny Evans, thanks for coming down and being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And keep up the great work. All right, we got to take a break here and get you back to more of your favorite music. Have some tunes coming up from the band Naked Eyes, Earth, Wind and Fire, Manfred Mann, and a whole bunch more. But first, a quick look at rim country weather.
Thank you, sir.
Naked Eyes.
You did it. I thought you were going to run out of wind there.
We all did it. Wait,
Oh,
you actually wondered that?
I did.
but that's
For reals?
Yeah. In 30,
Me?
In 30
Run
minutes.
out of wind?
In 30 minutes.
I'm not going to say anything.
Might run out of steam, but I don't know that I'll ever run out of
No, but really, that's just speaking frankly, that's one hell of a list for 1 year. I mean, you got to be proud of that. Anybody would have to be proud of that.
It's such a joy. It
Yeah.
is such a joy. People, I have people
Well,
say,
making
why do you
a
do that?
difference. Yeah.
Why do you volunteer? Well, if you could do that, wouldn't you want to do that? I mean,
Yeah.
what a blessing to be
Yeah.
able to be a part of it.
Good stuff.
So, yeah,
Gotta love it.
absolutely.
Well, let us know what else we can do to help.
Just keep on keeping on.
Ashland, quiet down a little bit so we can talk.
I know, right?
I'm so sorry.
No, you do fine. You do fine. Wow, I'm astounded. It might sound like cheap words, but that I had no idea you had that many things going on.
It's all the time. And, what's really neat is nobody gets to see the dialogue when you get to talk about these things as a board, but there's so much joy in it. I mean, our whole board just,
Well, they're into it for the right reasons.
yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. Gotta love it.
All right.
Well,
Next meeting?
I'm gonna sit here and hang onto the wall for a little.
Okay. I completely get that.
I'm gonna get tired of whining about this sometime soon. But
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
all right,
I get it.
have a good one,
Merry Christmas.
and happy Hanukkah.
Christmas.
Kenny's an okay guy. He and I have been on different political sides of the world, but I have to say everything that I just said in there, I thoroughly believe in that. I think what they're doing is absolutely amazing, and they are offering a hand up instead of a handout. And I think to begin with, some people, myself included, were concerned about all the money that was acquired by the foundation from the sale of the hospital. If somebody's just going to push their own personal agenda, and that hasn't been the case. I mean, they're doing the right thing the right way. So I was wrong and they were right. I'm not going to say that publicly. Yeah. Well, it is a little bit easier to walk around than it was a week ago.
It's good to hear.
Alright, there you go. Yeah, head out to school. There you go. Well, have a good day. Try to. Yeah. There you go. Alright.
And let's talk more about this thing with this other guy too, whenever, it makes sense. If it's something you'd like to go after, talking at one of the other kids to the DECA program called because of my conversation with what's her name here a week or so ago, and said that understand that you need an intern with Tono TV, and I said, well, we're just looking to find some people to do some sales, and the kid sounds like he's all over it. So
Oh, there you go.
it'll be interesting to find out. And Ashlyn sounds like she's interested too. So yeah, well.
Yeah.
Chance to
There
make
you
a
go.
couple of bucks while you're, learning.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, you have a good one,
All right.
and we'll go back after this again tomorrow. That's good.
Manana. That's right.
I'm not worried about it.
Unless something else happens, then,
If you come in with blood on your hands, I'll know what happened.
just don't even question it.
All right. Take it easy, Ashley.
But
Leave that open.
Still haven't quite figured her out yet.
Yeah.
She knows my granddaughter Haley.
Haley.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
they work together over at Starbucks, I guess.